Yo, what's up guys, I'm the Fire King, and today I have our EBL Season 3 Week Number 3 matchup. We're going up against Matt, coach of the H.Charizards. Me and Matt have never faced each other. This is our first time facing each other. And we both come into this matchup undefeated so far. We're both 2-0, but Matt is the first place team in the league because he's 2-0 with a +8 differential. And then it's Latios Zumro, who's 2-0 also with a +7 differential. And then we're in third place with a 2-0 and a +6 differential. So we got to pick up a W here against Matt, so we can remain undefeated, give Matt his first loss of the season. And hopefully Latios Zumro doesn't pick up a W. That way we could finish off week 3 as the #1 team in the league. But like I said, first we got to focus on this match, and we got to pick up a W. And a quick rundown of my team. I got Expert Belt Thunderous holding the Expert Belt Thunderous with the T-Bolt, and I'm going to keep his other moves hidden. And then I got my Infernape also holding the Expert Belt with Fire Punch EQ, and same thing, I'm going to keep his last 2 moves hidden. Mega Latios has Dragon Pulse, Side Shot, Hidden Power Fire, and EQ. I got my Vaporeon, especially defensive, holding the leftovers with Skull, Protect, Wish, and Toxic. Gramble, physically defensive, holding the leftovers with Play Rough, Roar, EQ, and Super Fang. Registeel, specially defensive with leftovers, Seismic Toss, Toxic, Stealth Rocks, and EQ. And Matt brought his Swallow, Alolan Muck, Gyarados, Sylveon, Ballistafon, and his Mega Scizor. And let's just head into this matchup. He goes into his Alolan Muck. I go for an EQ, does a good amount to him. He goes for the Poison Jab. He gets a Poison on me, which sucks, but you know, it's part of the game. And I'm just going to click Fire Punch just in case he wants to switch out to something. As he goes for a Shadow Sneak, he gets a crit. The crit didn't matter. But, you know, part of the game, like I said. Here I'm going to put up my rocks, because Swallow, Ballistafon, and Gyarados don't appreciate coming in on rocks. As he goes for the knockoff, getting rid of my leftovers. I put on my rocks here. He goes on to the Scizor. And I went for the EQ there. Scizor eating it up. Now he's going to click that Mega Evolution button as I go into my Vaporeon. And he goes for the Defog there because he knows the rocks pressure him a lot. 3 of his 6 mons get pressured a lot by rocks. So I go for a Scold as he went into the Sylveon. And I get the burn. And, you know, burn, it's okay. And he shows leftovers. So it's showing me that he's not a spec set. He's more of a supporter set. He goes for Baton Pass there into the Ballistafon. I got to switch out here. I was trying to put on my rocks, but I can't. You know, I can't stay in against the Ballistafon. He goes for a Fire Blast. He misses as I switched in my Vaporeon. And here I just go for a Scold on the Sylveon. That comes in again. But it's fine because the Sylveon is taking a damage little by little with my Scolds and the burn. I go back into my Registeel trying to put on my rocks. And he goes for a Baton Pass. So now I know next time we're in the same scenario, I gotta try something else. But I gotta switch into this Ballistafon, which is my Vaporeon. He goes for a Shadow Ball. It does 28% to me. Vaporeon eats it up. After leftovers, I'm almost at full. And here, I'm gonna go for a Scold. Even if he wants to put in Sylveon, it's fine. Like I said, it takes a Scold and then my burn. And then the burn damage. So this thing's at what, 36%? All he's been doing is Baton Passing and switching in on my Scolds. So here I'm gonna just stay in and go for a Scold. As he goes for a Baton Pass. And he switches in his Swallow. And I could take a Boom Burst, a Choice Specs Boom Burst. But I'm going to go into my Registeel here, try to put on my rocks again. And like I said, he goes for that Boom Burst, Choice Specs Boom Burst. Registeel eating it up. He goes for another one. It sucks that I don't have my leftovers no more. And I'm going to put my rocks here. I should have gone for like Toxic maybe. Start rolling down the Swallow a little bit. And because he goes back into the Scizor, and I should have read that play. And I go for a Toxic on the Swallow, but he switched out. And this is a good play on him because, like I said, rocks pressure him a lot. So he goes on to he goes for the Defog on my switch into my Latios. I get that Mega Evolution button, and I'm just gonna go for Hidden Power Fire. But he switches out to the Sylveon, but it doesn't matter. The Sylveon goes down to my Hidden Power Fire. But now he knows I have Hidden Power. And he goes on to the Ballistafon. I do have EQ or Side Shot. I decided to go for an EQ. And he's shows that he's Focus Sash. Sucks because he would have gone down there. He goes for a Shadow Ball, does a very good amount to me. Here I go for a Dragon Pulse. And knocking out the Ballistafon. We're up 5-4. He goes on to the Alolan Muck, who's goes for a Shadow Sneak, knocks me out. The Alolan Muck is putting in some work here. It's kind of annoying. I go on to Registeel and go for a Seismic Toss. I should have gone. I had EQ. But just in case he wanted to switch in the Swallow or the Gyarados, I had to get at least some damage on them with the Seismic Toss. He goes for a knockoff here, and then he goes for the Shadow Sneak. I go into Thunderous, And I go for a T-ball, knocking out the Lowland Muck, finally. And I'm not sure why he didn't click Shadow Snake. He probably clicked Knockoff, trying to get rid of my item. Here he goes on to the Swallow. And I go on to my Vaporeon, who's especially defensive. I could take these Boom Burst. You see it does 43% to me, and with me having Protect and Wish, I could get up to full health. Here he goes on to the Gyarados as I click Scold or Protect. I should have gone for Scold, but I went for Protect there. Just trying to get more leftover recoveries. And here I could fish for a Skull Burn, but I don't want to because I have a switch in, which is my Ground Bull, Roman Reigns. I get an Intimidate drop as he goes for a DD. And now he's at neutral attack because of my Intimidate. Like I said, I do have Play Rough. I have Super Fang. Super Fang, I went for Super Fang there, did 50% to him. I have Play Rough. Play Rough does not knock him out. He'll live on like 1 or 2 HP. And he goes for the Z Tectonic Rage. My Roman Reigns eating it up, the big dog. I go for a Roar there because I don't want to miss the Play Rough. So I'd rather just go for a Roar there and switch and get him out of there. I roar him into the Scizor. I go into my Vaporeon, Bullet Punch. I'm eating it up. And now I'll just go for a Wish, if I'm not mistaken. Because like I said, I need my Vaporeon to get him out of health to take on the Swallow. And the Swallow and the Scizor here. So I go for a Wish there, and here I'm going to click Protect. Even if he goes for DD, it's fine. I should have probably go for a Skull there, knowing that he was going to go for DD, but I didn't want to risk it. Like I said, I need my Vaporeon for the Swallow. And this is fine that he went for DD, because I have my Ground Bull that can switch in and intimidate him, and then he'll be a neutral attack. And there you go, he's a neutral attack. As he goes for another DD, so now he's at +1 and +2 speed. And right here he goes for Waterfall, knocking out my Roman Reigns, so now we're down 2-3 in the match. And I go for my Vaporeon. He goes for a DD, and I click Skull, Toxic. That way this Gyarados could be on a timer. The Toxic will start willing him down little by little, and I could get recovery with my leftovers and Wish and Protect. And there you go, I went for Protect. Even if I went for DD, is fine. But he shows a Crunch. I could lift, I think, 2 of these, if I'm not mistaken. Like I said, I get leftover recoveries, and now I'm going to go for the Wish. And next turn, I'll go for Protect. He goes for the Crunch there. It does a good amount to me, but like I said, I have Wish and Protect. So I can stall this thing out. And like I said, here I'm going to just click Protect. And he's going to die this turn to the Toxic. And my Vaporeon is going to be pretty much full, 99%. That's a kill for Vaporeon because he got the Toxic on Gyarados. Now we tie this game up 2-2. Here he goes on to the Swallow. He clicks Boom Burst. And what did I click? Scold? Yeah, I clicked Scold. It did 69% to him, and I got the burn. So now the Swallow's on a timer also, which is good. It's good for us. And here he switches on to Scizor, as I went for another Scold. No, I went for Protect. Because like I said, the Swallow's burn. I could stall him out also. And here I went for Protect, because it didn't matter what this thing went for. He goes for the Roost. My Vaporeon, I just need him at a good amount of health for the Swallow. And here I go into the phenomenal AJ Styles. I wish I had Incinerate, but I didn't, or I don't, because you know, I had Infernape, which knocks out the Scizor with the Fire Punch, and then I have my Megalodios who had a Hidden Power Fire. So I didn't think my other offensive mon needed coverage for the Scizor, but it turned out it did. But I went for the T-Ball on the Scizor as he went for the U-turn. Here I'm just going to let AJ Styles, a phenomenal one, go down to a Boom Burst as I go into my Vaporeon here. And I'm going to click Protect, because this thing's at 13% health, but I should have known that and just go for the Skull there as he goes on to the Scizor. And this becomes a stall fest between my my Vaporeon and his Scizor, because it takes like 3 Skulls to knock him out, and his Bullet Punches aren't doing nothing to me. And you see there, yeah, this just becomes a stall fest. So let me speed this up to turn 94. You're right, this thing was a stall fest. I had to skip all the way to turn 94. He goes for the Bullet Punch. I go for a Skull here. He goes for another Bullet Punch, and I go for a Skull there. I get the crit, knocking out the Scizor, and now he goes on to the Swallow. Now he goes on to the Swallow. It's at 13% health. All I need to do is Wish and Protect, and I win this game. He goes for the Air Slash there, fishing for flinches. He gets the burn. He went for Air Slash there. He gets the flinch. And like I said, here I'm just going to go for a Wish. And like I said, that's the game. We pick up a nice 1-0 victory, and we're 3-0. And that is GG to Matt.